On the night of June 19, 1861, in the town of Calamba, Laguna, the night was noisy from the grunts and struggles of Doña Teodora from birthing her child's big head, and that child would one day become the national hero of the Philippines.
Oo, Teodora. Siguradong magiging isang dakila ang batang ito.
And his name is Jose Protasio Rizal. 3 days later, Jose Rizal was baptized in the Catholic Church by Reverend Rufino Collantes, with Reverend Pedro Casañas as his godfather.
Binibinyagan kita sa ngalan ng Ama, sa Anak, sa Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Pagpalain ka naman ng Panginoon, Jose Protasio.
At the age of 3, Rizal's mother, Teodora, became his first teacher. She taught him the alphabet, prayers, and how to read.
A, ba, ka, da, ga, ha, la, ma, na, nga, pa, ra, sa, ta, wa, ya. Ngayon naman anak, tuturuan kita kung paano magdasal ng Ama namin. Sa pagdasal ng Ama namin anak, kailangan mo magsimula ng sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, Espiritu Santo. Amen. Ama namin, sumasalangit ka, sambahin ang ngalan mo, mapasa amin ang kaharian mo,
These lessons planted the seeds of Jose's brilliance and love for learning. Jose was very close to his younger sister, Concha. Her sudden death became his first experience of grief and loss.
Oh, anak, bakit nandyan ka pa?
Nay, bakit hindi nila gumising si Concha?
Si Concha anak ay nasa Panginoong Diyos na.
Kasi nan, namimiss ko siya.
Nandito pa rin siya sa puso mo anak. Alalahanin mo yung mga tinuro ko sa'yo. Halika, magdasal tayo.
Though young, Jose carried this sorrow with him. It taught him strength, faith, and deeper compassion. From a young age, Jose showed an extraordinary gift, a heart that saw beauty and meaning in even the simplest things, whether through words, sketches, or carvings. He expressed a soul destined to inspire a nation. At the age of 9, Jose was brought by his brother Pasiano to Binyan, Laguna, to study under Maestro Justiniano Aquino Cruz.
Jose, alam mo ba paano magsalita ng Espanyol?
Kaunti lang po, Maestro.
Ang Latin.
Kaunti lang rin po, Maestro.
Simulan na natin nakarating.
Despite being new, Jose soon became the best student in class. He excelled in Spanish, Latin, and other subjects, but not everyone was happy about it.
Ninanais ni Jose na makapag-aral sa mataas na pamantasan. Ito'y kanyang tadhana na hindi natin mahadlangan.
Francisco, iyo bang nakaligtaan ang nangyari sa kumburzan na ating mga ninuno? Ako'y natatakot lamang na baka maulit ang kasaysayan.
Magtiwala ka lang, mahal ko. Pasiano, pumarito ka.
Itay?
Samahan mo ang inyong kapatid patungong Binyan.
Sige po, Itay. Pepe, halika na!
Before June of 1872, tragedy struck the Rizal family. Doña Teodora Alonso was falsely accused of attempting to poison the unfaithful wife of her brother, Jose Alberto.
Anong ginawa mo? Iniwan mo ang ating mga anak, ang ating tahanan, para sa ibang lalaki?
Jose, matagal kang nawala. Wala akong kasama. Alam mo bang gabi-gabi akong umiyak sa lamig ng kama?
Kahit na.
Ako'y babae lamang. Nangangailangan ng init, ng yakap, ng karamay. Jose, kapatid, patawarin mo na lang siya. Hindi madali ang iniwanan. Para sa kapakanan ng ating pangalan, ibalik mo na lang ang katahimikan ng inyong tahanan.
The issue was seemingly resolved, but the wife, vengeful and wicked, accused her husband and Doña Teodora of poisoning her.
Naaresto namin si Doña Teodora sa salang pagtakang dasuhin ang asawa ng kanyang kapatid.
Walang katotohanan yan. Ano ang ebidensya ang meron kayo?
Hindi ko nakalimutan ang iyong pagtanggi noon, Don Francisco. Panahon na para pagbayaran mo yun ngayon. Halika na, senyora.
Ang hustisya ay hindi dapat pinaglalaruan ng sariling galit.
Tumahimik ka na, tayo na.
With no trial nor fair hearing, there she was imprisoned for 2.5 years.
Bantayan mo ang aking mga anak. Bigyan mo ako ng lakas.
February 17, 1872. A day of sorrow for the Filipino nation.
Ano ba ang nagawa kong kasalanan? Ako ba ay mamamatay ng walang saysay? Diyos ko, walang katarungan sa mundong ito!
Padre, ako po ay yung patawarin sa gagawin ko sa iyo.
Pinapatawad na kita, anak. Gawin mo na lang ang pinag-uutos nila sa iyo.
3 priests, Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora or Gumborza, were falsely accused of leading a mutiny. The pain Pasiano carried became Jose's purpose. Gumborza did not die in vain. Through Rizal, they would live again. Jose Rizal first took the entrance examination at the College of San Juan de Letran. His father, however, deemed Ateneo Municipal de Manila more suitable due to its distinguished reputation. At Ateneo, Father Magin Fernando, the registrar, initially hesitated to grant him admission.
Huli ka na sa iyong pagpapatala. At wari marupok ang iyong katawan para sa gulang mong iyan upang magtagumpay sa lugar na ito.
Ako po'y nakahanda, Padre. Buong puso kong hangad na makapag-aral sa kamantasang ito.
Padre, ako po'y naniniwala sa kakayahan ni Jose. Ipinakikiusap ko po ang kanyang pagtanggap.
Kung gayon, siya ay maaaring tanggapin, ngunit tanging alang-alang lamang sa iyong pagkakandili may balik.
While visiting his imprisoned mother during summer, Jose Rizal heard her dream of climbing a bright staircase. He interpreted it as a sign of her impending freedom. Soon after, Teodora Alonso was released, confirming his hopeful belief.
Senyora Alonso Rialonda, alinsunod sa kautusan ng mga kinaukulan, ikaw ay formal nang pinapalaya.
Salamat, Panginoon!
Sinabi ni Jose Rizal ay pawang katotohanan. Dapat niya itong malaman. Karapat-dapat siya makaalam na ang katarungan ang siyang nangurin.
Isang sulat po para sa inyo, Senyor Rizal.
Salamat po. Sinay, malaya na. Sa wakas, siya'y pinalaya. Gaya ng aking pinangako.
Jose Rizal met Segunda Katigbak at the Luz residence, where gentle conversations and shared poetry sparked a quiet connection.
Pepe,
isang malaking karangalan na ito nakilala.
Ang ligaya ay tunay na akin, Senyor Rizal.
Halika, upo tayo. Ikaw ba'y nagbabasa ng mga tula, senyorita?
Paminsan-minsan, ngunit mas nais kong pakinggan ang mga taos-pusong pananalita kaysa sa mga salitang pinalamutian ng tugma, Jose.
Kung gayon, hayaan mong ako'y maging tapat. Ang presensya mo'y may lambing na hindi madaling limutin.
At sa iyo'y may lalim na hindi ko inasahan.
He offered her a heartfelt compliment, which she warmly received, revealing a brief but mutual admiration.
Sa Senyorita Segunda, nakatakda na palang ikasal kay Manuel Luz.
Mga ginang at ginoo, buong karangalang ipinapakilala namin sa inyo ang ating Jose Rizal na nagtapos ng bachelor sa sining na may karangalan. Sa pamamagitan ng kanyang pambihirang sipag at talino, ginawaran siya ng 5 unang gantimpala sa filosofiya. Naglilihok at pagguhit, mabuting asal, mabuting paninirahan at kasipagan. Bilang dagdag na pagkilala, siya rin ay binigyan ng parangal sa larangan ng pisika at kimika. Isang tunay na patunay ng kanyang kahusayan sa akademya.
In 1877, Jose Rizal enrolled at the University of Santo Tomas to study philosophy and letters. Unlike Ateneo, the university's rigid environment posed challenges that tested his patience and determination.
Indio Chongo! Tingnan mo sila. Ang mga Indio'y akala'y makakapagtay nila tayo.
Stila Bangus!
Paano mo kami tinatawag na ganyan? Ikaw, mababang Indio. Pagsisihan mo yung pagkawalang galang para
The discreet courtship of Jose Rizal and Leonor Rivera, rooted in familial ties, unfolded in Manila. Their affection, nurtured through letters and stolen moments, became a poignant memory.
Senyorita Rivera, sana hindi kita nagagambala.
Hindi, senyor. Ikaw ay malugod kong tinatanggap.
Matagal ako nang pinangarap ang sandaling ito, senyorita. At tunay na ikaw ay nakagabinghani. Higit sa mga salita na maaaring ipahayag ng aking mga labi.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong. Ikaw ay tunay na magaling sa mga salita at panggugola.
Sige, ganyan ba ang pagtrato ng isang nakakataas na opisyal? Thank you.
Patawad, Ginoo. Dahil sa lalim ng gabi, hindi kita lubos na makilala sa kapalang opisyal.
Ganyan ba ang iyong paraan ng pagtrato ng isang nakakataas na opisyal? Pwes, matuto ka sa matindig paraan.
Ganito ba ang hustisyang ipinagkakaloob sa ilalim ng inyong mga kamay?
In 1879, Jose Rizal won first prize in the Liceo Artístico Literario de Manila's literary contest for his essay, La Juventud Filipina, earning a silver pen as recognition for his eloquent appeal to inspire the Filipino youth. The following year, he received second prize for his poem El Consejo de los Dioses, further showcasing his literary brilliance.
Hindi ko na matagalan pa ang dilim na bumabalot sa paralan ng Santo Tomas. Hindi karunungan ang itinuturo, kundi pang-aapi. Bawat araw sa Santo Tomas ay pasaling pilit kong pinapasan.
Batid ko, ang hirap mo, Pepe. Ngunit, saan ka tutungo? Ano ang iyong balak?
Sa Espanya, aking kapatid, doon kong ipagpapatuloy ang aking pag-aaral. Dahil naniniwala ako sa pagkamulat sa ibang daigdig. At higit kong maiintindihan kung paano maipaglalaban ang dangal ng ating lahi.
Kung yan ang tinitibok ng puso mo, susuportahan kita. Ngunit tandaan mo, ang landas mo'y hindi madali. Sa bawat hakbang, dala mo ang dangal ng sambayan ng Pilipinas.
At ito ang magiging sandata ko, kuya. Ang talino't panulat na magmula sa puso't isipan, hindi kailanman palulutig.
In 1882, disillusioned by the outdated methods and racial prejudice at the University of Santo Tomas, Rizal decided to leave. He sought to continue his studies in Spain, believing it would help him gain the knowledge needed to fight for his people.
Magandang araw po.
Magandang araw din doon. Maligayang pagdating sa Universidad Central de Madrid. Paano mo kayo matutulungan?
Nais ko pong magpatala sa kursong Medisina, Filosofiya at Letra.
Tapos na, Ginoo. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagpapatala sa Universidad Central de Madrid. Naway, maging makabuluhan ang iyong paglalakbay sa karunungan.
Salamat po.
In 1883, while in Spain, Jose Rizal was drawn to the liberal ideals of Spanish Freemasons who criticized the abuses of the friars in the Philippines. That year, he was initiated into the Masonic Lodge Acacia in Madrid, where he eventually rose to become a Master Mason, adopting the symbolic name Dimasalang. Rizal used it in his writings to protect his identity through Freemasonry. He advanced his advocacy for justice, education, and national awakening. While in Madrid, Jose Rizal briefly became close to Consuelo Ortiga, but his heart remained with Leonor Rivera, his true love. Despite his feelings for Consuelo, Rizal respected his friend Eduardo Delete, who also showed interest in her and chose not to pursue a romance out of respect.
Ginoong Rizal, natutuwa akong makita ka. Marami akong naririnig na mga papuri tungkol sa iyong katalinuhan.
Senyorita Consuelo, ako ang may malaking karangalan. Narinig ko ang kabutihan ng loob ng iyong pamilya at narinig ko rin ang kahusayan ng salita at kaisipan mo, senyorita.
Salamat, Ginoo, at sana'y magustuhan mo ang ating munting kasiyahan ngayong gabi.
Yan ay aking natitiyak, senyorita.
On June 21, 1884, Rizal earned his licentiate in medicine from Universidad Central de Madrid, an academic achievement that reinforced his commitment to knowledge as a means of advancing reform and justice in the Philippines. Rizal soon left further into European lands for the pursuit of more extensive medical knowledge. In the midst of his medical pursuit, he stopped by Germany and stumbled upon Harrier Beecher Stowe's novel titled Uncle Tom's Cabin, which prompted Rizal to finish writing Noli Me Tangere with the intention of condemning the tyranny of Spain's rule. There he wrote for the purpose of freedom and to fight against indiscrimination and tyranny, yet none of this means anything in the face of financial shackles. Fortunately, through the help of Maximo Viola, Rizal was funded and successfully published his novel, though not without sacrifices. August 5, 1887, After 5 years of study in Europe, Dr. Jose Rizal returns to his homeland, but what awaits him is not celebration, but suspicion.
So much has changed, yet so much remains the same. Nandito na ako.
Pepe, sa wakas, nakabalik ka na.
Ang saya ng puso ko, kuya. Walang kasing katulad talaga ang sariling bayan.
Umupo ka muna kapatid, sapagkat may sasabihin ako sa'yo. Kapatid, ang aklat mo, ang Noli Me Tangere, maraming mata ang nabuksan nito.
Ngunit maraming makapangyarihan din ang nagalit dito.
Oh, Pepe, nandito ka na pala.
Ang tagal na, ate. Masaya kita makita.
Narinig namin na pinaparatangan ka ng mga praile sa kanilang mga sermon. Halos araw-araw kanilang binabanggit.
Alam kong darating ang araw nito, ate. Ngunit hindi ako natatakot. Ang katotohanan ay kailangan isigaw.
Despite the laughter and happiness, there lies a danger of what would happen with the return of Jose Rizal.
Ang nobelang ito ay irehe. Isa itong paninirang puri sa ating lahat.
Kailangan nating patahimikin ang taong iyan bago pa siya makahawa ng mas marami.
Kung mananatili siya dito sa Kalamba, mag-iiwan siya ng apoy sa puso ng mga tao.
Hindi tayo maaaring tumahimik. Kailangan gumawa tayo ng hakbang kagad.
Senyor Jose, ang iyong uklat ay nagtutulot ng pagkabahala. Galit na galit ang mga praile.
Ang noli ay hindi kathang isip lamang, Ginoo. Isinulat ko lamang ang aking mga nasaksihan.
Isa kang matapang na tao. Bibigyan kita ng tagapagtanggol. Si Teniente Jose Tabiel de Andrade.
Isang karangalan po. Bantay sarado ka na ngayon. Bawat kilos mo'y sinusundan.
Natatakot ako anak, pagkahulihin ka nila o may mas masahol pa.
Inay, kapag ako'y mananatili dito, kayo naman ang malalagay sa panganib.
Kung ganon, umalis ka na lang kapatid. Mas marami ka pang magagawa para sa amin.
For the sake of his family, Rizal leaves once more. Rizal left, carrying only what he needs. He embraced his family one by one, each hug holding both love and farewell. Rizal soon fled and ventured to many countries like Hong Kong, where he found a glimpse of freedom far from home. In Japan, where he found peace and love, but duty pulled him away. Through America, where he saw progress tainted by prejudice. In London, he uncovered the forgotten truth of Filipino greatness. In Barcelona, where his words became weapons. And then back to Hong Kong, where he led, healed, and built a peaceful dream. Then he returned home, carrying hope stronger than fear. And so, the dream was interrupted. La Liga Filipina, barely formed, was crushed, its founder exiled. Far from the heart of the nation, he tried to awaken. Jose Rizal was cast into silence, but silence would not stop him. Dapitan, remote, quiet, and forgotten. To the Spanish, it was a prison. To Rizal, it would become a place of purpose.
Ikaw ay aking bilanggo, Dr. Rizal. Ngunit, ang nakikita ko'y isa kang taong matayapa.
Hindi ako gumagawa ng masama, Kapitan. Ako ay isang doktor. Gusto ko lang matulungan ang mga tao rito.
Hindi ko alam kung bakit kayo ipinatapon rito. Ngunit, nakikita kong may malasakit ka sa mga tao rito.
Ang mga tao dito ay nangangailangan ng malasakit at tulong. At bilang isang doktor, kapag ito'y mabibigay ko, gagawin ko.
But even in peace, revolution found him. Andres Bonifacio, leader of the Katipunan, had only one question left to ask.
Malapit na ang himagsikan, Dr. Rizal. Kami ay nangangailangan ng isang leader. Tinutukoy kita. Pumili ka. Samahan mo kami.
Hindi pa tayo handa, Andres.
Walang oras, Dr. Rizal.
Pinaglalaban ko ang kalayaan ng ating bayan. Pero hindi sa paraan na magdudulot ng kaguluhan.
Hindi ba't ngayon na ang ating oras? Hindi ba't nakikita mong malapit na ang pagkawasak ng ating bayan?
Kung magmamadali tayo at hindi tayo handa, baka tayo pa ang sanhi sa pagkawasak ng ating bayan.
He refused, not out of fear, but foresight. A leader's greatest strength is knowing when the time is right. And Rizal believed that time had not yet come.
Dr. Rizal, you are under arrest.
He was never meant to reach Cuba. The empire feared his ideas more than any army. In the darkness of Fort Santiago, Rizal did not beg. He did not recant. He wrote,
Mi ultimo adios, my last farewell. I die with a clear conscience and for love of my country.
At dawn, he would walk calmly to his execution in Bagumbayan. There, with his back turned to the firing squad, by his own request, Jose Rizal faced death with unshakable dignity. Consumatum est. Ito ang pagwawakas. From ink to blood, from exile to execution, his death was not an end. It was the ignition, the match that lit the revolution.